Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gotta blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
So Group I is all wrapped up with Ousmane Dembélé and France topping the group, beating a heavily rotated Norway, who are also, though, through to the round of 32. Meanwhile, Senegal, they put 5 goals past Iraq to put themselves in prime position to advance to the next round as the best third-place finisher. It's a confirmation of how the table looked then. It's as we were really coming into the match day. France at the top, followed by Norway, both with 6 points. Senegal now have 3 after starting the day with none. And it is the end of the road now, unfortunately, for Iraq, who are out of the World Cup. Good to have you with us, everybody. Welcome along. I'm Poppy Miller alongside Darian, Jenkins, Nigel Reo-Coker and Tony Meola. Tony, what a showing today from France. Really dominant, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think we saw their depth. I don't know that they came out of first gear in this game, and we knew it would kind of look like this because of the rotation from this Norwegian side, but it looked too easy today for France. There was a moment there where the penalty kick was missed or saved by Magic Mike Magnan that would have made it 3-2 right at that time. Then there's a discussion, but yeah, it was too easy today for France.
Too easy is an understatement. It was just a walk in the park for them, in all honesty. Can understand Norway's rotation, but they still needed to do more. They needed to show more, and you're talking about the World Cup and everything that's at stake, and for players who are trying to play their way into the team, it's an opportunity. You're playing France, you're playing one of the best in the world, joint favourites for this competition. So if you're a player coming into that team, you got to play like it's your last game. Play your way into that starting lineup. Give it something for the manager or the coaches to think about for that next game. But it's hard to say any of those players did. For France, they were professional about it, their approach, and you could see at moments when it got too easy that they were starting, as we would say, trying to take the mick, have too much fun, where they could have made that extra pass and bit of selfishness creeped in, but they knew they were very comfortable and there was nothing at stake. If it was the round of 32 game, it'll be a different intensity. There's a different mindset that'll creep into these players where they probably would have punished Norway a lot more than they did today.
I wonder for this Norwegian side, or how you guys feel that they put out this team against France, and you kind of look at this opportunity of this could have been a time to really build confidence of even your starters of the round of 32. Do you feel like that's going to have an effect on them moving forward? I mean, you have to rely on your depth moving forward as well, and this was a shocker of a game from Norway. You do, but I would say for me, it's anything as a manager, if I was a coach there, they got minutes under their belt. That's the main thing. They got game, they got rhythm into it, and if I do need them to come into a game, they can come into a game. But it's also a reality aspect of it, that knowing that we don't have the strength in depth like these other clubs that we're going to be competing against, but it's important for these players who don't get a lot of games to have some game time, that if anything does happen moving forward, that we need them to come on, that they are actually match fit and to come in there. So I think that's how you have to look at it. You just have to look at it from the point of they got to play a game, they got to show me what they can do. I know they're not going to be in my starting lineup, but I know that they've got enough game time that if I do need them moving forward, that they can come in and have an impact, that I'm not worried about their fitness.
You can live on ifs, right? If somebody gets hurt all the time, France can live on it more than Norway can live on it, right? Because we talked about the depth, and there's a couple players that are irreplaceable, but I don't know that they'd feel an injury as much as a Norwegian side would, and I think that's what you saw today, right? Erling Haaland, Odegaard, Sorloth, there's a couple other guys in that. They're so important to Norway. There's no advancing without those guys. There's an argument to be made. If an Mbappe went down for France, they would still have enough in the tank to go to a final, right? We don't want to see any of that stuff, but I mean, I think you could make that argument. So that's probably what you saw. You saw France that is just kind of fine-tuning things, right? And it's our Norwegian side that was protecting themselves. So the biggest thing is coming out of here with no injuries. They pretty much knew their position coming into this, and now they'll move forward with their best group.
And what about the confidence as well that Ousmane Dembélé is going to have after today? He had a hat-trick, he was brilliant, and he is just one of 3 players now to be rated a perfect 10 from SofaScore in this World Cup.
I mean, he is incredible. He scored the same goal essentially 3 times, cutting in from his left, inside of the 18, curling at far post with pace, power behind it. I mean, talk about players that you need to have confidence moving forward. The reigning Ballon d'Or winner. He's great with both feet. He can play on any side of the ball. He's also a workhorse. I think we focus a lot with him on what he does in the attacking side, but you look at his role with PSG, he's the one pressing, he's tracking back, he's in his defensive third. And then he's in the attack going 1v1 scoring goals, and you get to see the benefits of that playing with this French side, but plus another plethora of stacked players. It's just the champagne problems for France.
You like him because he's French? Just asking a question.
I'm surprised you like him.
I can handle them.
He's Nigel's mysterious pick, remember, from the golden boot.
I told you guys, keep an eye on this guy here.
He said, I'm really going to go out the box with my pick this year. Nigel, what do you think, though, if France do go on to win the World Cup? Is he the no-brainer for the Ballon d'Or again?
I think he'll be heavy favourite. You talk about back-to-back Champions League winner, and it's all about momentum and form. When they won the Champions League last year, he was the one that came on form at the right time, right moment, scoring those goals for PSG to win the Champions League. Had a decent season this season, played with injuries, but also that goes on to the lot of games that they played with the Club World Cup. And now you talk about the World Cup, people are questioning him, hasn't scored in the World Cup, scored his first goal the last game, and then now this game, now the momentum starts building. 2 assists by Kylian Mbappe. He's got 4 goals now in the competition. So if they go on to win the World Cup, he has to play a big part alongside Mbappe and obviously the other quality that they have. And if they do win the World Cup, you'd have to say he's in the conversation and probably the favourites again, Champions League winner and a World Cup winner to maybe do back-to-back World Player of the Year.
Yeah, Mbappe would have an argument, I would think, as well, right? But if he wins a Ballon d'Or in this...
But would he after the domestic season?
Yeah, but he had 40-plus goals, you know? What else can Mbappe do for Real Madrid? I mean, can't score in 2 seasons in a row with 40-plus goals.
But is it the trophies that will be a detriment to them?
That will be, I think, Tony.
Yeah, it might be. But if he has a World Cup trophy in his case... Dembélé didn't have a great season at the beginning of the year at PSG, right? But, of course, you go calendar year, so you can stretch it. And then we'll see what it looks like, come the new season. But I would think if Mbappe wins a World Cup and is a Ballon d'Or in this thing, he would have a shout in this as well.
I agree with Tony in that aspect of it because he does get overlooked, and it goes to a conversation we had a few days ago if Kylian Mbappe is shown the respect that he deserves for what he does numbers-wise. But again, like we know about this Ballon d'Or thing where it's becoming a bit of a popularity contest, the fact that PSG won back-to-back Champions League, that would still put Dembélé ahead of Mbappe big time. There's also the conversation about how Real Madrid acted when Vinicius Jr. didn't win the Ballon d'Or. So all of that will play into a part of the politics behind it. I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm just being honest with human nature and human character. So I think that I agree with you. I do think with the numbers, yes, Real Madrid didn't win the Champions League, but for what his job is, what you want him to do, his numbers are frightening Mbappe. But at the moment, the reality of it is PSG winning back-to-back Champions League and what it does for the club and Dembélé being a significant part and now showing he can do it at the highest level. I think
it's like what you said, though, Darian, champagne problems, because here's just a look at the numbers of those two together, Mbappe and Dembélé. 4 goals each now, adding up to, obviously, 8 for France. It's scary to think of the talent that they have led by these two in the attack.
I mean, if we're looking at this, to me, the argument we're talking about, the comparison, I should say, between Mbappe and Dembélé, look at the amount of shots Mbappe's had compared to Dembélé. Talk about effectiveness of a player and quality. I mean, 3 shots, 3 goals today. He's just so effective and clinical, and I think that's where the Ballon d'Or argument also can come into effect for Dembélé versus Mbappe.
I get it, but I was at the Senegal game opening day, and he was non-existent. They took him out of the game, right? They substituted him. It was Barcolo that came in, and so you can make an argument. It was actually in that game, Mbappe trying to put the team on his shoulders and maybe shooting from areas where You know, there was a chance today for Mbappe too, where you said, "Oh, he's looking for a goal.
Yeah,
he could have drove one across the box." So I mean, there's arguments there. There's no doubt. I mean, we're splitting hairs, right, with these two guys. We're looking at magic players on this team, and they can both flip a game on its head in an instant.
And let's not forget, this is the Dembélé who was substituted in the first half of the last World Cup final. So imagine how embarrassing and tough that is. You work so long, you get into a World Cup final, you get substituted in the first half by your manager, and he came back from that, won the World Player of the Year, and again, like you said, Tony, you're right. He gets criticised, rightly so, because probably doesn't do it enough consistently. Doesn't feel like he takes that pressure and that burden on to say, I am the best player in France, or I want to be the best player in France. He kind of just plays his role, while Mbappe, on the other hand, is willing to take that pressure and embrace that pressure of, I am France's best player, I'm going to be Superman of France. So you've got the different characteristics. I would say one of the best things that's happened to Dembélé is Luis Enrique.
Yeah.
Luis Enrique at PSG, and however the relationship he's got to work with Dembélé, that is the best thing that's happened to him in his career to make his career fast, because it's Luis Enrique that's helped him get to this level, even though when people still question him.
And he's made it very clear that it's team first mentality, isn't it, with PSG? And he's had moments with several of the key players over the course of the last 2 seasons. What about France as the favourite to win the World Cup? Has anybody's opinion changed on yes or no, whether they'll go all the way this year?
I've always been yes.
And you still feel yes?
100%.
Yeah.
We can wax poetic about this team. They're deep. They can play in a plethora of ways. They play as a team. Mbappe is actually tracking back and defending and playing multiple roles within the squad. He's providing assists. Like, Doué's getting his first World Cup goal. Like, all of these players are just building in confidence, and they're going into the round of 32.
Who would it be between France and who for you as the second favourite?
We did our brackets. I want to say I said Spain. I said Spain or Netherlands, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I picked France in mine. I'd have to go back. I'm sure I did. I picked France, and I think Argentina was the other. Right now, those are the 2 teams that appealed to me the most, right? They're the 2 teams that, but it's hard to think that they're going to be in a World Cup final together again, right? I don't know how the brackets are going to play out and all of that stuff, but they're the 2 teams that I think are the 2 strongest. Spain obviously had the hiccup in the match they won, but they were better in match day 2. We'll see them again here in a little bit. And they're going to have a say in it. There's Portugal. I mean, some off the top of my head, I mean, those are the teams that kind of stick out. England will have a shout if they get their stuff together because they're talented enough, but we haven't seen, I'll say, an explosive English side. You guys have chatted about it in both England matches so far. Portugal, they turned it up a little bit in match day 2. Can they? They're certainly, the engine of that team is certainly good enough in that midfield, and if they can get Cristiano Ronaldo to keep scoring goals. So, I mean, there's teams, but I haven't changed on France.
Spain was technically the bookies' favourites when they going into the World Cup. You had France winning, right, Nigel?
Yeah, I had France as well. The talent that they've got, strength in depth. And when we say strength in depth, I think people need to understand as well, when you played football and different games we face, whether it's a team that wants to be defensively sound and make it difficult for you to break down, or whether it's a team that wants to play expansive, the French have players that can affect every aspect of the game. If it's a team that wants to be hard to break down and be defensively sound and put everyone behind the ball, you could play Ryan Cherki. You can bring him on, who's good in tight areas to open up the game. If it's a team that wants to go expanding with you toe-to-toe, you've got all the players already. So they have the luxury more than anything else. When you look at Spain, I look at Spain without Lamine Yamal for Spain is like Argentina without Messi.
Yeah.
He is the difference maker for Spain now. He is the golden child of Spain, and Spanish people and Spanish fans are very aware of that now, that they really depend on this young man and how he plays in his approach. But I think for France, they're still really, like Tony said, there isn't that reliance on one specific player.
So on to the next for France. We will wait and see who is going to join them in the round of 32. Senegal, we know, have put themselves in a great position to advance now as the best third-place team. In Iraq, they are out of the competition. We're going to have much more for you in just a second.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion!
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it? The crowd here feels electric.
Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
So the journey to a third consecutive FIFA World Cup final for France continues in the round of 32, and most likely a fellow European nation, Sweden, who qualify as one of the best third-place finishers at MetLife Stadium, where the final will be held, will go head-to-head. How are we feeling about this matchup? I suppose if you're Sweden, you may not be feeling too great about it, but if you're France, Tony, are you thinking that this is a favourable third-place finisher that you could face, or not so much?
I think everyone's favorable for them.
Yeah.
It's a European it's a European team with a lot of guys that are playing at big clubs, right? Itzhak and Gyökeres, and Ilanga has now two goals in 2 games now. Ayari's been a bit of a surprise in that midfield, right? The kid who I believe was born in Tunisia, right? Scored against Tunisia. They were good in that game, 5-1, and then a little bit of a reality check against the Netherlands, who I should have put in that conversation we were having in the last segment too, because I think they look really good. They got waxed by the Netherlands 5-1, and Japan last night and Sweden, they look like they understood the mission, I'll say, right? 1-1 was a good enough result, and the game was played between the 2 18-yard boxes, but you're not going to have anybody in this Swedish side that's going to be in awe of France, right? It's not these guys playing top European leagues, but I clearly France is a better side.
Yeah, the French are saying bonjour when they see that Sweden draw, because I just don't think that
you're
they're going to have a
obsessed with
chance.
Now
France
he's
today.
sucking up to the French.
I'm just saying, hey, bonjour. You know, I could say it in German as well.
Can you say anything else in French?
I could say other words, but I'll get fired if I say other words.
Any words that you can say?
Oui.
Très bien. No, I think if you're France, any team, like Tony said, you're just looking forward to playing again. It seems like this team is having so much joy on the pitch. You're having a variety of players score, step up at the right times. The bench is stacked. Everyone's hungry to go and play. And I think Sweden, what you see is what you get with their starting 11. Unless Alenga's coming off of the bench, I think he's been the best attacker for them, at least in front of scoring goals. But it's a tough road for Sweden to go into this round and have to play France. They have to play the perfect game in order to not allow them to score goals.
And just to add to Darian's point, my biggest concern for Sweden is defensively they don't look good enough. In both games that they've played, you cannot have a defense that doesn't look confident and secure enough to keep you in a game when you talk about facing the world's best attacking force right now.
They're not organized enough as well.
They may have lost their center back in Hien, who we see at Atalanta every week in Serie A. Came off last night, looked like he was pretty injured. They had to sub him in, so that also doesn't look good for Sweden.
So true. It's going to be a heavily favoured match in favour of France, as we know. For more, let's welcome in our Buckets with the best bet for this game. Buckets, how do you find the value in a game like this?
I can appreciate and respect how proper you guys are when talking about how, you're being pretty polite towards Sweden. Maybe if they play perfect, no, it's not even going to be close. Let's be realistic here. France are going to roll over them. This Swedish back line doesn't stand a prayer of a chance. I feel like France could play their backup 11 and they're still winning this game against Sweden by at least 2 goals. We don't have any lines available yet. I will say, just do what's been working for France. Take Dembélé to score or assist. Take Mbappe to score or assist. Take France to score early in the matchup, because this is a team that when they are deciding to play on that second or third gear, they're not going to slow play this. They're not going to build up play and kind of tire you. They're going to go for the throat right away. I've got France winning this matchup, regardless of who they play, Sweden or Egypt or New Zealand, whoever it ends up being, they're winning this game by a minimum of 3 goals here.
Is there anything in it for both teams to score in this one, or is it just that lopsided for you in this match?
I do like both teams to score. We don't know the lines yet, so I'd like for that to be closer to the even money plus 100. Sweden, their best part is their attack. So if you want to see Gyökeres to score, assist, or Isak or Elanga, there's going to be value there for something to get done, because we saw this with Norway. I know it's a group stage game against backups. They didn't really care as much, but if they took their foot off the gas for a second, their opponents can capitalize this, and they have still been conceding goals. So both teams to score will probably be a good shout here, Tony.
Buckish, what about just an outside bet here for the Ballon d'Or? We were just talking about potentially Ousmane Dembélé being one of the favourites again. Is it a good time to bet now? Is that even a possible thing to do?
It's not possible currently for the legal books in the U.S. Maybe if you want to go off grid a little bit, I'm not saying do that. I don't know how, just saying it's a possibility. But right now in your major sports books in the U.S., I don't even know what you're talking about. I couldn't fathom going. No, I'd be careful. If you can find lines, though, Dembele is where I'd put my money.
You'd put your money on Dembele?
I would, yeah. I think he's going to continue to have an incredible World Cup here.
Who would you say will be close second then, if it was just talking about the Ballon d'Or looking ahead now?
Take my bias out of it, because I'm going to want to say Michael Olise no matter what. But if France win, if France win, it's going to be Dembele, in my opinion. If Spain end up winning, then you've got a different conversation with maybe a Yamal shout, depending on how he finishes this out.
Sure, good point.
OK, brilliant stuff, Buckets. Thanks so much. We'll be back with you in just a second. We're just going to take a look, though, at the meetings between France and Sweden and how they've kind of compared in the past, just in this World Cup, actually, between the two sides. Obviously, we mentioned for Sweden, it's been a complete mixed bag. I mean, Tones, if you're playing for Sweden, you won 5-1, you lost 5-1. You've been a bit all over the place, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been a little Jekyll and Hyde, right? And I think we thought in that first game, we saw, Sweden that came to the World Cup and would compete, and then, like you said, they got drubbed by the Netherlands. It was incredible. They got picked apart. It was so easy, and I respect the Netherlands, and I like that team. I think they're really good, and Graham Potter here, as we're seeing, it's a guy that, if we've learned one thing about him through his club adventures through Brighton and then Chelsea, he likes to put the ball on the deck and play. I just don't know that you can do that against this team, right? You might have to be a little bit more direct. Keep the ball in France's half as long as you can, right? So you got two horses up top. The one thing Sweden does have is Isak, right? And I still think he's an exceptional player. Had the start of the season, issues with the transfer before he makes the move, and then the injury and all of that stuff kind of slowed him down. But he looks like he's up for it in this World Cup. Gyökeres is always a guy that's going to fight all the time, can scrap a goal. But yeah, I don't know. I'd like to, if I'm not trying to hammer the Swedes here, I'd like to give them a chance somehow, but I just don't see it. I don't see how they're going to win this one.
Tell the truth, Tone.
I think maybe they'll score a goal. I don't think they're going to have a clean sheet by any means. I think they'll be far outscored by this French side. It's tough to make a case defensively. You made such a good point. Each game I've watched, especially the 5-1 loss after the 5-1 win, it was almost as if just the fundamentals of defending went out the window as a team.
Yeah.
And when you're going against teams that aren't France and you're conceding that much, that's scary. And then you're going to play France.
Let's also add the pressure of its knockout stages. Like these guys now with the history and the experience they have in this competition, they know now this is the real business end. First business has been taken care of, which is making it to this round. Now there's an extra level of pressure now. You can't be making those type of mistakes against top-line opposition now, because now we're going to see the French team know every game they have to put their foot on the gas. And I think with Sweden, I understand what you're saying. I like Isak. Gyökeres going to fight, going to scrap. But this game's going to come down to quality now, because when you get those 1 or 2 moments against France, if they go sleeping defensively, you have to put it in the back of the net. I can't put my money on Gyökeres doing that. I could say maybe Isak, yes, can make that happen. But again, is this Swedish team now too heavily reliant on Isak? Is he going to have to do way too much work than just his work in the top end of the pitch?
Yes, he's going to have to do a lot of work.
That's a problem. And then you've got to look at the opposition that they're facing against.
OK, well, the bracket is starting to take shape, isn't it? After the break, we'll look ahead to some more of the matches that we've got to look forward to in the round of 32. We'll be right back.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation is hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in 2 worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Can you handle it? The crowd here feels electric.
Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gotta blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
Well, despite the loss, Norway, they're still advancing to the round of 32, where they'll face off against Group E runners-up, the Ivory Coast, on June 30th in Dallas, Texas. The winner of this match, by the way, will either face Brazil or Japan in the round of 16. And for your best bets on this match, let's welcome back in Buckets. Buckets, what are you thinking for this one?
So we actually already have lines available for this one on the sports books, and the early money is pouring in on Côte d'Ivoire. They opened at 3.5 to 1 to win, already down to 2.9 to 1 to win. So a lot of money are going on Ivory Coast to get the job done here. I understand the logic a little bit. Obviously, Jan Diomande has been incredible. He plays at Leipzig. He's used to playing a very aggressive attack when he's playing against Bayern Munich and Dortmund. Norway play a similar fashion under Holland. But I just don't quite see it. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be competitive. We'll probably see both teams scoring this one. But I give a little bit of edge to Norway right now. Whether it was a good idea to rest these players is irrelevant. They're rested and they're ready for this matchup. And I back Holland and Odegaard to continue to run over opponents like they've been doing when they've both been starting all tournament long.
So, Buckets, let me get this right. Ivory Coast are the favourites, but you're backing Norway.
No. Ivory Coast Norway are the favorites, but the early money is all going on Ivory Coast. We're seeing a lot of people taking that money line, which is dropping it. You can get Norway to win right now at even money, plus 100. Ivory Coast sitting around plus 290 right now. I've got Norway to win, but I just think it's going to be very close in this game. Maybe a 2-1 or a 2-2 taking us to extra time.
Okay, you've got both teams to score. Who is your scorer and assist for both teams then?
We'll do Odegaard assist to Holland, which is the easy pick, but I'll take the cop-out answer here. And then I like Jan Diomande to get his first goal of the World Cup. I know he just came off of getting an assist. I know he's incredible when he's off the ball, but I've seen what he does at Leipzig. I think he's going to get the goal for this team. Not sure where the assist comes from on this Côte d'Ivoire side, though. A couple different options.
Buckets, how about Nicolas Pepe? Obviously, the 2 goals came against Curacao. We could maybe take a little bit off for that, but does he continue to get on the score sheet at all?
I hope so, because all of the money right now, if you're looking at the odds available, Nicolas Pepe right now is almost plus 500 to get a goal. So you're getting 5 to 1 on him. You're getting 4.5 to 1 on Diomande. The books don't see a lot of goals coming from Côte d'Ivoire, but there's good money to be had if you can kind of snipe these players early on.
Buckets, love it. Thanks so much. We're looking forward to the round of 32. We'll see you soon.
See you soon, guys.
Darian, you were just saying you're so looking forward to this matchup. Is this one of the best matchups, do you think, that we've got so far in the round of 32 in terms of it's more open, right? Who's going to go through?
It's more open, but I've just loved watching Côte d'Ivoire play. I think that's a team that's grown through each match, and then going against a team like Norway, who I do think a loss like that is going to affect confidence of your quote-unquote bench players in a certain way. And so if you're Ivory Coast, you have the swagger. Everybody, we were talking about the central midfielder, remind me of his name, in the middle of the pitch for Côte d'Ivoire, the young player.
Christ. Loué.
Yes, he's incredible at breaking lines. He's not afraid to do it on the dribble. And I don't think that Norway have faced players that are kind of fearless everywhere on the pitch. And Côte d'Ivoire kind of bring that youthfulness to the game. And if I were betting, I don't bet, but if I were betting, I would put my money with Côte d'Ivoire. I've loved watching them so far in this tournament.
Remember, Norway's missing a right back here. They're starting right back in Ryerson, so Diomande is going to be the guy matched up with him. But I'm with you. So far, this is one of the more intriguing round of 32 matchups.
Is it fair to say?
Tones, by the way.
I like the Ivory Coast. I've seen Norway twice. Pretty straightforward team. You know what you're going to get all the time. There's a little bit more uncertainty in this Ivory Coast team because of a guy like Ahmad, who will take you on the dribble, Diomande, who will run inside. They don't run necessarily in channels all the time. I think we see a little bit more of that from this Norwegian side. So I like the creativity in this side. Fun to watch. They like being on the ball. They'll get into tackles, always pressing you. And they're probably feeling pretty good about themselves right now.
Yeah, by the way, they're rated higher as well on our SofaScore graphic than Norway. This is just a reminder of how they've fared in the tournament. This was Norway's first loss today, and the Ivory Coast with the same record as well, Nige.
Yeah, I like Ivory Coast. I'm going to go against Buckets, and I would agree with Darian. I would put my money on Ivory Coast. I think that, for me, I like Norway. Obviously, yes, they've got Erling Haaland, they've got Odegaard, they've got some very good players. This is going to be their toughest toughest test we've seen. And what I like about Ivory Coast for me is that I'll describe them as not polished. There's that thing about them where it's a good rawness, it's a football purity rawness about them. They're not conditioned like most of these teams are, where it's real drilled in patterns of play and systems. There's that unpredictability about them, which I think will go to help them and benefit them as a team. They've got a really good team, play through your lines. I thought they had a great game against Germany.
How do you feel, by the way, though, that each of these could either face Japan or Brazil? That's a really, really tough ask, isn't it, in the next round?
Yeah, it's a really tough ask, but I feel like this is the best test you get before going into the next round. But to Nigel's point, I think when you look at Norway, they're so dependent on Holland, and we saw that today, so dependent on just serving balls into the box, letting him get on the end of stuff, making something out of nothing. Like, the guy's a goal-scoring machine. But you look at this Ivory Coast side, or excuse me, Cote d'Ivoire side, any player can score. They play like such a threatening team, and they're so fluid, as Nigel said. And to me, that's the biggest factor on why more of my trust is with Ivory Coast getting this done.
And I think for Norway, playing Sorloth on the right-hand side has been a sacrifice for him, right? He does it with the national team. He doesn't do it at Atleti, which gives Odegaard a bigger burden, right, to pull the strings. And I felt like in watching the Senegal game the other night live, where Sorloth was almost wasted just doing so much defensive work, chasing things down wide, where he's a guy that Atleti over the years has brought in to score goals, right? Yeah. And he's a threat in the box. He didn't get in the box all that much in this game, so that's something that they'll have to figure out. But in the national team, that's where he's played. All through qualifying, that's where he played. They were in Italy's group, so I got to watch them a couple times. They were a scary team in qualifying. They cruised through that group. So it's a team that's really growing into international football.
And the one thing that they have to be ready for, Norway, is the physicality of it. Ivory Coast are a very physical side, athletically strong, dynamic. As much as I'm a big fan of Odegaard playing that midfield role, what he can do going forward, brilliant. The way he can orchestrate in midfield, killer passes, influence a game. But you lose a bit from the defensive side of it. That's the problem about tackles and winning the tackles and being scrappy in second ball. That is not something that he can get a lot of flowers for, because he just doesn't do it enough. And when you talk about a World Cup and big games like this, when you're going to face an Ivory Coast side, you're going to have to do that side of the game. Martin Odegaard, you can be great on the ball, but you're going to have to get in the scraps and winning those second balls. And that's not something that is one of his strengths of his game.
Well, they'll hope to keep their World Cup dreams going after being in the World Cup for the first time in over 20 years. We're going to be back in just a second here on Golazo Matchday.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
I look crazy. It's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tell me, can you handle it? The crowd here feels electric.
Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad and my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
So here is the Group H fixtures with Cabo Verde going head-to-head with Saudi Arabia and Houston, while both teams are still trying to sneak into the knockouts. Meanwhile, Spain and Uruguay, they're down in Guadalajara for a meeting of former champions tonight. All four teams are still alive, but Uruguay, Cabo Verde or Saudi Arabia can still be eliminated. Spain looking pretty good. They're taking on an Uruguay side who, Tony, you were just saying, haven't impressed you very much in this competition.
They haven't been impressive. Bielsa's side, Marcelo Bielsa always wants to be a pressing side and almost looks hectic in some ways. This team has been nothing but that. It's tough for them to score goals, tough for them to create chances. They just haven't looked very good in this competition to me. They're not pleasing on the eye at all to watch. It's about scrapping for everything all the time. Today is a massive test for them. They probably would have wanted to play a Spain team that was definitely secured going into the next round. Spain team that's grown into this a little bit. This is going to be a real battle, and I'm guessing that Lamine Yamal is going to have some stud marks at some point in this game, because that's the sort of MO for Uruguay in these competitions, right? Always tough to beat. But I go back, the U.S. beat them, I don't know, 5-1 in an exhibition match just not very long ago. And that friendly was not a very good example for Marcelo Bielsa when he was working with on this team and working with their first team. He was not very happy with that group. It's kind of carried over here a little bit for me.
The energy levels that he wants to implement in these teams just haven't occurred in this Uruguay side there. When you talk about high tempo, high pressing, 1v1 scenarios, they don't have the personnel. And I think I look at this Uruguay side and I'm worried about them scoring goals. They don't score goals, they don't create. And like Tony said there, when they don't create, for me, their biggest loss is Di Arrascaeta, who's a player who plays at Flamengo. He is a top talent. He's a proper number 10. And when he's not playing, he's been injured right now, they don't have a player that can do what he does. They don't have a like-for-like replacement. They lose that creativity. Another player that I really like is Oscar de la Cruz, who's a centre midfielder. Hasn't had much game time. Don't know why Bielsa doesn't seem to like him to play de la Cruz in that midfield area. He's got a great strike on him, great delivery, but still can't seem to get into that starting lineup. And what he does for this Uruguay side as well, they don't have another player. Valverde, top-class player. But I have to give him to say he's world-class.
That's their guy, yeah.
But he hasn't really performed as well when it comes to this Uruguay national team. Hasn't really taken the performance we've seen for Real Madrid into that international shirt and representing Uruguay as we think that he would. So they have been very disappointing. They haven't been a Uruguay side that I expected. Whether it's Bielsa's implementation of his style of play doesn't match the players that they have and the physicality aspect and the fitness that you need, where they can do it for 90 minutes. And obviously the conditions play a part as well. Canobio's come in and done okay, not too bad, Araujo. But then also when you talk about risks as well, you look at when they played Cabo Verde in the last game and the goal that they conceded, just careless mistakes at the back, individual mistakes. You can't give goals away, cheap goals like that. And they still look vulnerable defensively every time. Whenever you're playing this Uruguay side, you're going to believe you have chances. And I like Tony said, I like what Tony said, because I'm just being honest. If I'm Uruguay right now, I'm thinking, right, game plan. If you're sitting over your back four, your defenders, yeah, we've got to kick him. And you know who. Don't even have to say his name, but we're going to have to kick him to slow him down. Because if we can slow Lamine Yamal down, we can maybe slow Spain down in a must-win game scenario. So I won't be surprised
Nigel
if I see
with the
some.
dark arts, I'm shocked.
I'm just letting you know how they might be thinking.
The qualification scenarios look like this. There is still a chance for Uruguay to win the group against Spain if they can beat them tonight, and if Cabo Verde draw or lose against Saudi Arabia. So this, you're almost in it. I like that.
You're almost in it. I'm not convinced. I'm just going to third what the guys are saying. Watching this team play, I mean, you've also left yourself to all of these scenarios that have to happen in order for you to finish second. It's just not good enough, and I think the tactics truly don't fit the players. They become way too expansive. There's these massive gaps between the lines in those outside channels, and they allow teams to gain confidence. Even when they do have those sort of moments that spark some sort of confidence, they're so vulnerable on the defensive side. And when you're going against a team like Spain, who want to have the dagger, to have the cherry on top, getting out of the group, and ultimately moving on to the round of 32, it's just... I would almost dread going against this team because, yeah, sure, you can play the dark arts and just, like, go at your maul. They have a plethora of other players that can step up. We haven't seen the best of them yet, but this is the game where Spain is going to want to prove it, and Uruguay have not proven to be up to the task.
And it looks like there's a real possibility as well, as we mentioned, for them to finish in third place if those results don't go the way that they want and they can't beat Spain. And that puts them in a whole other world, Nige, when they're then in the round of 32 as a best third place finisher, potentially.
Potentially, yes. But still, I mean, from their perspective, you'd have to say, OK, it's great we made it to the round of 32. They'll take it because they know they haven't been great and haven't really deserved to get that far. But for a proud nation like Uruguay, they'll take it and just try and compete the best that they can. But when you look at the weaknesses in this team of the lack of a striker, you talk about Darian Núñez at one point went to Liverpool for how much millions and couldn't do it there and everything. And then now the national team hasn't had a great run, hasn't really affected it. And there isn't no number two. You know, you've got the youngsters coming through now, the young generation of players. But at this level there, you need reliability. And that's something that I don't think I can put in this Uruguay side, the word.
Do you see them going out, Tony?
There's a real possibility they go out tonight. Can I openly, am I allowed to say I'm rooting for Cabo Verde tonight to go through?
You just did. You just said it.
I asked if I was allowed to say it.
I'll say it. Cabo Verde.
Yeah,
all the
look,
way.
I know that. Just, you know, they're the Cinderella story, right, or one of them of this competition. There's no doubt. They have a great opportunity against Saudi Arabia, but. Yeah, the answer to your question, can you see Uruguay going out tonight? For sure you can. Yeah.
OK, we're going to see in that game, speaking of teams that have done so well to get to the competition, is the history-making debutants Cabo Verde. They look to get to the next round in a group with Spain and Uruguay, as we mentioned. We're going to be back with more on them in just a second.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me. Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events. It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. With the entire nation hunting you down.
The grand prize, $1 billion.
Win this game. Change your family's life forever.
Hunt him down!
People will sell you out in a heartbeat.
What is happening?
Welcome to the Running Man.
I'm back. I'm really back.
Why am I here? I'm not dead, right?
Disruption on this campus will not be tolerated.
If I look crazy, it's because that's how I feel. I don't know how to live in two worlds.
There are others. But they're not like us. We need to get out of here now. Open your eyes.
Paramount Plus has a mountain of movies. Wow. New movies. Timeless movies. Guys who are running out of time movies. So So get in on the latest blockbusters.
Trust me.
And relive the moments that get you every time.
And that's all I have to say about that.
A mountain of movies, now streaming on Paramount Plus.
This is European soccer's biggest stage.
Written in the stars! What a difference she has made!
The question is, can you handle it?
Tommy, can you handle it? The crowd here feels electric.
Stream every match of the UEFA Women's Champions League on Paramount Plus.
I lost my dad in my aunt.
What aren't you telling me?
I'll never know what you've gone through, but I'm sure your dad will want you to be happy.
I will not lose the company that my husband started. I want success. Get it for me.
This business will bleed you dry.
Dad, I'm playing on the house's money now.
No, you're playing with the devil's money.
What's the plan here?
Gonna blow!
Yeah, well, I'm just getting started.
Landman. All episodes now streaming only on Paramount Plus.
From witnessing a first historic World Cup point against Spain, then a first goal against Uruguay, the third smallest nation by population to qualify for the tournament, Cabo Verde is hoping that they will be in the round of 32. The scenes have been incredible for their fans. The first debutant to be unbeaten through their first two matches since Senegal was in 2002, and they could be the first African debutant to go through since Ghana did in 2006. How impressive have they been? I think they're everybody's kind of Cinderella side. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I think so, right? Especially after the initial result against the team that everybody, well, not everyone, but a lot of people picked. They were the favorites by the bookies in Spain, and they get a result. And Vozinho, the goalkeeper, goes from 10 Instagram followers to like 16 or 17 million. Like that. That's
Could you imagine that? Is that what he's at now?
Yeah,
something.
Maybe
I mean,
more now.
something like, I don't know, but
jealous.
He's got
I'm hyped for him.
Oh.
Tony, by the way, how would you feel if you were in his shoes? Would that be like really difficult to wrap your head around, or is it easy to block out the noise?
Having 17 million Instagram followers is probably my biggest nightmare, Poppy. But you know me and social media, I don't really like it. But the guy was outstanding.
The recognition, to go from being somebody that the football fans would probably recognise and love, especially if you're a fan of Cabo Verde, but to go to a globally recognised footballer is a different thing.
It's incredible. And
get the marketing team ready. Get the marketing team ready. That's what you need. Marketing, PR. There you go. Handle it. That's it.
I hope he makes $1 gazillion doing it, right?
Yeah. He's gonna.
And I mean, he was incredible. 40, didn't even start playing until he was 25, he said, right? And then the whole story with his mom not being able to be at the first match. They get him here. She's in a box for the second, match, which is so cool. But I think this is a game that you're looking at. I would think the idea is, okay, Spain beats Uruguay, we beat Saudi Arabia, we're going through, right? This is like a real chance tonight.
A real path.
This isn't, there's a real path. It's not like I need 8. They're like Scotland's been kind of begging for a couple days, right? And I'm hearing that they might actually still have a chance. Is that right?
Yeah,
Scotland?
they're still alive.
I don't know how it happens, But anyway, but they have a real chance because destiny's in their own hands right now for the most part. Take care of business. Not going to be easy against Saudi Arabia. But if there's a Cinderella story just about in every tournament we watch, this is it for me. So I'm openly rooting for them tonight. I don't root for many teams other than the U.S.
I am beyond openly rooting for them because I understand what Tony's saying about the Cinderella story aspect of it. But the thing that people have to understand on top of that is how they've gone about it. Cabo Verde have done things the right way. You talk about the foundation and how they've recruited players and stuff, and there's always this stigma and this negativity when it comes to some of the African countries and how they treat their players when you talk about representing the national team. They've done it the right way, and it hasn't happened overnight. And this isn't jumping on the bandwagon, because Poppy could probably be my witness here from the past 2 African Cup of Nations, how I've been saying how good this team is, how well coached they are, how they go about their business. So they deserve all the credit and all the flowers they're getting, because this is beyond the Cinderella story. This is about when you do things the right way from a footballing perspective. And there, Vozinho, their goalkeeper there with millions of followers and probably have millions of dollars in his pocket. It's beautiful, and they're inspiring the next generation of young players from this island. The next generation who are going to represent this nation in a great way. and they have no fear. And the last thing I'm going to say is they can make history.
Yeah.
Tell that to a dressing room of players now where you can make history, where you're going to be remembered for the rest of your life in your nation.
And this is just how realistic it is. We want to show you the table of potential third-place finishers with the top 8 going through. Right now, Scotland is on the cusp. As you can see, Cabo Verde just behind them. They still could go through as a winner. But even if they do go through as a third place, they have a real opportunity to get into this top 8. It's Sweden, Ecuador, Bosnia and Herzegovina that have officially qualified to the round of 32, along with all the other first and second place finishers so far. Okay, everybody, stay with us. We're going to be right back here on Golazo Matchday 48 Nations in just a second.
At the start of every year, I find myself wondering again, constantly questioning life's mysteries. Could I make it in the UFC octagon?
When Jeff Probst asks survivors, ready?
Do they ever want to say no? Has Dexter ever considered meditation? Will Beth and Rip make it last on the new series Dutton Ranch? If not, Rip, call me.
Stream new series and returning favorites, plus huge events.
It's going to be the biggest year yet.
Welcome to the Running Man. The rules are simple. Survive 30 days. But the entire nation hunting